I think taking kids outside into the field on the East End is it's the richest kind of learning that could take place. When I think back to my school days, I still remember the trips that I went on. School trips, I think, are very important. They're important learning environments. First and foremost, it's a shared experience. Some kids don't have the benefit of travel. We can explore. We can see things together. I have learned from experience that having students go prepared with either clipboard and some scratch paper, drawing paper, and a pencil, or maybe taking a sketch journal along. You're keeping kids busy, A, but they're also capturing and saving some information. So that becomes what we use the next day or back in the classroom, and it's very helpful. It's about 4 or 5 years ago that I met Matko Tomacek, who runs LongHouse for Jack Leonard Larson, the owner. He said, we want to invite teachers and students to come there. No cost. Please come to these gardens, 16 acres, filled with art, sculpture, plants, rare trees, and it's really an oasis in the middle of East Hampton. And sometimes you feel like you're in Kyoto, Japan. LongHouse, the property, is unique because Jack Leonard Larson is known as a world-class weaver. That's what he is. He's a fabric designer and weaver. And he took fallow land, 16 acres, and it became his tapestry. He added dunes. He added a pond. It was a man-made pond for his friend Peter. This is called Peter's Pond. With the extra soil from the pond, he recycled it and created an amphitheater. And that's that wonderful, wonderful space, a performance space where Bill T. Jones has danced, Edward Albee has recited, and my children play their clarinets. It's just a brilliant use of the land. The entire 16 acres have different nooks and niches, and they're wonderful to explore. There are shaded areas. There's Dina's Dell, where children can come and sit and just contemplate in a quiet little circle.
Now this art is all over the place. This is Jack Leonard Larson's art. This is called Study in Hiking.
He's like doing one mistake.
What?
There's pathways that they can try to follow. There's the Golden Path. There's a beautiful pathway of roses, covered with roses in June, that lead from the amphitheater over to the pond. So they love this whole exploration. It's an adventure for them. We want kids, after they do the walkthrough, to then go and have a quiet time to write or to draw. And kids love wondering. They love lying on the grass and looking up and just wondering, just having questions. It's a park. It's like an amazing park. It's private and a place to go and be quiet. And for children, it's special also. And each area has different trees, plants. Even the texture of the land itself is different. And when favorite place always is the Atlas cedar trees. And they are trees that are so amazing because they're 50 feet wide and they look like a curtain of needles. And the children sometimes go right up to the trunk and sit inside the tree, and this is a unique experience. So again, I think what you're inviting is different points of view. Kids get to see things from different aspects, you know, from under a tree or in a tree, or, you know, from the rim of a pond, or inside that fly's eye dome looking up through a sky hole. There are these incredible sculptures done by people, recognized artists from all over the world. LongHouse Reserve is really a unique place in the world. The fact that art and nature coexist. You have sculptures that cannot be found anywhere else. And it's here. It's in our backyard.
No, this will be here for one season, and then we will have to return.
And if teachers take advantage of that, they will see that this is a place where their math lessons can come to life. Science, kids can be curious about even what's in the pond, the trees growing around the pond.
What are those kind of words? Water worms.
Last year I had estimation. We did an estimation problems after our visit. Their homework was a word problem about Jack Leonard Larson and having to replace one of the big giant cryptomeria trees. We've taken the kids for lots of math excursions at LongHouse, and I'm thinking of Bucky Fuller. Well, we've got a Bucky Fuller design right there at LongHouse. It's a huge geodesic dome. It's called the Fly's Eye Dome. It was designed but never built by Fuller during his lifetime, and I think of it as the best place to teach circumference and diameter that I know about. When kids peek through the trees and they see those blue glass spires, they're this bright, bright cobalt blue, they were created by Dale Chihuly. And Dale Chihuly is based in Seattle. But his artwork has been on display in Venice, in Mexico, in Waterford, Ireland, in Japan. And these kids, not only do they admire his artwork, they love saying his name, Dale Chihuly, you know, and they write poems about his work. And kids have seen Chihulys in hotel lobbies and come back to tell me. So it is something you're giving kids. They're seeing something there, and then it stays with them because they've experienced it. And it's that amazing. And they go and they teach their parents, and they bring their parents back. When children leave the LongHouse, Matko will present the teacher, every teacher, with a packet, including 2 free passes. So the students can go home with a brochure and 2 free passes, and they can bring back mom and dad or a brother or sister or somebody else in their family, and they become the tour guides because they've been there first. Then at the end, we usually bring snack or lunch and have a little concert. It's not long. I do want the children to have that experience of having an audience sit up on the rim of the amphitheater and hear the acoustics, hear how sound travels. We also hold off on the roll down the amphitheater until the very end. That's a payoff if they've all been respectful of Jack Leonard Larson's property and home. We've had incredibly rich drawing and writing and artwork and poetry that's come out of the visit every single year. And we usually make copies and give it back to Motko and Jack Leonard Larson as a gift, as our thank you for the visit.